a lot of my interviews. So you're gonna be the first one out, my friend.
Oh, nice.
Um, dude, you know who loves you?
Oh,
It's Bo's mom.
oh yeah, dude. She does.
She came out here and she was cracking up, but she said that you're a trainer now.
Yeah, yeah, I am.
Nice.
hmm I
What are yeah, what do
Go
you do?
for it.
What are you doing?
So I work at a gym in Westchester. It's called SoCal Sport and Fitness. We do semi-private training, so groups anywhere between 1 to 5 being the max, focusing mostly on strength training and what I like to call prehab, which is like rehab before you get hurt. So
Okay.
basically, it's a preventative exercise program, a lot of it too.
Are there
Um,
like time numbers like CrossFit type thing or
no, 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 not like CrossFit at all. This is
uh,
very, because CrossFit is far more focused on like the community aspect of fitness as well
okay.
as like high intensity training.
Mhm.
And ours is strength. So that's focusing more on sets of about 10 reps and then more slow compound lifts. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think you were the first person to introduce me to, I don't know if it's called negatives or where you like
Yeah.
kind of hold or static holds.
Yeah. Yeah. No. So that's kind of like, it's called tempo work is one name for it. The eccentric contraction is what you're thinking of, which is that downward portion as you're
Hmm.
lifting, because this is the concentric if we're curling, and then the eccentric.
Okay.
And so the eccentric portion is actually where you tear and build more muscle. So it's far more valuable to get the second half of the movement than the first half.
And that's where you want your muscles to be if you're like to the point where they need to repair themselves or something.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, anytime so yeah. I mean, when you're putting load on a muscle, you will usually cause, micro trauma, as it were,
Hmm.
um, which is necessary to rebuild and grow. But then depending on a lot of things, it'll
Yeah.
change how it works.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Uh,
Perfect.
yeah.
Now, yeah, you're gonna hear me vape during this maybe, but this is
Okay.
not that loud
Yeah.
because that's totally healthy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know. Trust me. I'm like, I hope I'm not too scratchy from the cigarettes I had earlier.
Well, so I like this year it's been like up and down. And I
Mhm.
started this year doing intermittent fasting, but
Okay.
I think it's kind of like borderline eating disorder because I would just not eat all day and then
Yeah.
go on like 3 mile run after work. And I wouldn't end up eating until like 9, 10 o'clock at night and then going to sleep right after. And it was like I was losing weight for like 2 months and then I
Yeah.
lost like probably good 20 pounds because I was like 246. So when I got to 220, it just
Dang.
plateaued. But now the second half of the year, I incorporated weightlifting more
hmm
and the progress has been like exponentially better.
Oh
And
yeah.
I'm eating like doing the intermittent fasting thing like it's just kind of natural at this point, but I've noticed trying to get in breakfast if I'm going to lift and things like that. So
hmm
where are you at on your journey? Like, are you trying to reach any goals or like what? Because I hate skinny people. I don't like fit people because I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? Like,
Yeah, no, that's actually a great question. And so for the month of November, I'm going to be creating a new program for myself because I've been relatively aimless the past month or so, mostly focusing on rehabilitating my shoulder.
okay.
Um, because I had an injury in 2015 where I tore the pectoral tendon from here to here, and then the muscle belly from here to here. So
Oh,
with the repairs, what's happened is now my shoulder wants to naturally come up like this
uh,
when I need to have it down here.
I need, yeah.
So as far as like posture and everything goes, essentially what's happening to me when I'm doing any sort of chest movement is my brain tells my anterior deltoid, the front part of my shoulder, to fire
Mhm.
first, and then it brings in the chest because it's worried that I'm going to tear myself again. So it says put the load on this, healthy muscle, even though it's, you know, a sixth of the size of the pec.
Yeah.
Um, So now I've been working on reconfiguring my what's it called? Not my kinetic chain, but my cognitive chain when it comes to muscle. So I'm going to create a more regimented program starting this month, where I'll start with that and then focus on hypertrophy because I want to put on a little bit of size.
Okay.
Yeah.
So hypertrophy is where you're going to failure?
No, hypertrophy simply means the growth of muscles. It just means like muscle size. And so you can have different types of hypertrophy. Because if you like, say you take creatine, creatine will help your cells retain more water, increasing their size. That's cellular hypertrophy, right?
Okay.
And then if you take like a cross section of the muscle, the fibers would be like this. So you can also increase muscular hypertrophy by creating more, just by having more tiny fibers inside, right?
Okay.
So that you get by cross training endurance style, power style, as well as just like the moderate style. Because there are multiple types of muscle fibers that do different things. So if you train them all independently, then you can increase the most muscle size by hitting all avenues.
So you could do it like a cellular level or like kind of like a surface level on the fiber tissue.
Cellular as well as, because the fibers themselves are made of cells. So you can actually increase the size of the cell themselves or create additional muscle fibers is really the two there. And so you want to do both, obviously, right? And so there are other ways of increasing the cellular size besides supplementation, but I have to double check because I can't say off the cuff what they are. I don't remember.
That's all
probably,
right.
I'm assuming nutrition, eat red meat or something.
I know you have like a black belt.
I do, yeah, back in the day. But I haven't done martial arts in like 14 years, so I don't really.
Did you have to get a certification for your training that you do now, or is
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have the American College of Sports Medicine certification. I like to think of it as the best, and I would argue it's the best. It looks at exercise as medicine. So like when I was reading the book, part of learning to be a trainer, like if I was training, let's say a mechanic, right, who does a lot of overhead work because he puts the car up there and then he's fixing things here, right?
Right.
So how do I program for him? If he was my client, what kind of exercises would he need? And so what he needs when he's putting his hands up here is he needs stuff that works his opposite muscles. So things in his low back, his lats especially, hamstrings and glutes, those all need extra attention because in his day-to-day life, he's already doing this. So shoulders and everything are getting work done, but those opposite muscles are not.
Kind of sounds like almost like a trunk of a tree. Like, is that comparable? Like has strong base since he's working up top?
Yeah, a little bit. You're good. You're actually moving into another point about core work, which is super important, right? If the tree trunk itself is really stable, and if like the limbs are stable, then you don't have to worry about anything breaking or any like too much damage. Right. And especially think about at the conjunction of the tree and the branch. So for us, that's like our hips and our shoulders, right?
Okay.
So the stronger that section is, the safer everything's going to be away from there.
Okay.
So that's different than what I was saying, which is so whenever there's an imbalance in the body, dysfunction will usually follow, and then an injury will typically follow. So like, let's say, here's a great example. Everybody loves to do squats. No, that's a terrible example. Bench press, right? Let's think about Pepperdine. What did you see everybody doing? Bench press and curls, right?
There's a line for that bench press.
Yeah. So if all you're doing is benching and curling, you're only using the muscles all right here, right?
Yeah.
So what you're going to do is you're going to cause internal rotation of the shoulders, which then whenever you have something that causes your shoulder to come back, it won't be ready for that, and it's going to injure you. So you're caving forward like this. Now your upper back can't do anything because it's stretched all tight, right?
Right.
And then your and then these muscles are gonna have limited mobility, so you're gonna like try to reach behind you, and all you can do is get here.
Yeah.
Like you know how people can't touch their arm to their finger to their shoulder?
Yeah.
It's not because they have huge biceps. It's because they don't have any shoulder mobility. So like I'm almost bigger than I've ever been, and right now I'm squeezing my shoulder. Right?
Okay.
But that's because I'm more flexible, not because of any other reason.
Gotcha. So it's kind of like all interconnected. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask you too with cardio.
Yeah.
Because I notice a lot of guys that seem fit, or they have like the ideal body type. If they're not doing CrossFit, I didn't see a lot of guys at Pepperdine doing cardio, or like even now at the gym. I just feel like I'm always the guy that has to run because I'm always heavier and I have a lot of body fat.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. No. Okay, so here's the thing, right? Cardio is great for burning calories. At the end of the day, all right, let's establish two truths. At the end of the day, calories in, calorie out, bottom line. If you get more calories than you burn, you're going to gain weight. If you get less calories than you burn, you're going to lose weight.
Right.
That being said, a calorie is not a calorie is not a calorie. If you have 100 calories of straight like icing versus 100 calories of nuts, like the difference between the two obviously is astronomical.
Right.
In what ways? In one, you're getting better macronutrients, and then also like micronutrients. Additionally, the way your body's going to handle it. I mean, I basically the first point covers it all. Yeah, better nutrients. So you're going to feel fuller for longer. You're going to build more muscle, etc. So that being said, with those truths established, if you have less calories than you consume, or if you burn more calories than you consume, you'll lose weight. Yeah. Otherwise, you don't.
I'm actually like okay with the numbers game right now because I think I'm able to manipulate my body enough to lose weight. It's just a matter of the weight that, like, I don't know how to say it, like building muscle rather than just running, like doing the weightlifting and eating right and not starving myself. Because I was really big into autophagy, cellular autophagy, with the fasting where the cells recycle themselves and like anti-aging properties.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like I have gray hair and all this stuff. So I'm like trying to slow down everything.
Like, what do I need to do? Yeah.
Dude, it's like all this sugar came out for Halloween and I am.
Oh, God.
I'm
not. On Halloween, I actually had a blood sugar plummet the way I've never had it done before. Because, like, I've had a toothache. So I have not been eating well. I just, like, because, like, I can't. So fast forward to Thursday, I planned out, I had a smoothie and some oatmeal. Oatmeal is low glycemic, meaning like the sugar index is low. So it won't affect your blood sugar very much. And when you're working out, you actually should ingest a little bit more sugar than the average person because that's what fuels your muscles, really. Glucosamine, which is the stored form of sugar in the muscle.
Okay.
So I didn't have any sugar, and then I went to a HIIT class, so a high intensity interval class.
Right.
And I never trained that way. So after I did that, I wasn't able to eat. I went straight back to work, and then I went straight to a concert. And like at the concert, I started to get super lightheaded.
Oh,
and like faint, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what is going on? And like I wasn't drinking, so I knew something was off.
Yeah.
And then when I went home, I just I was craving the candy, and I went to town on it. And I could feel all the sugar like re-enter my body and like, revitalize my muscles to the point where I'm pretty sure I overdid it, and my body was almost cramped. So then I had to eat like a bunch of salt and all kinds of stuff to counteract. Anyway, so blood sugar plays a vital role.
I guess that's where like I'm hitting a slump, I think, because I've really been good about the sugar and not the candy, but this last week, all right, Halloween's coming out.
That doesn't count.
It doesn't, but you feel it. And it's like today I want to run right when I got in the door, because if I don't and I sit down with you, it's like I don't think I'm going to go to the gym.
No, for sure no. For sure no. Yeah.
So you guys do different classes there, or is it just like
No.
obviously you said groups, so no classes.
Right. I'm sure that's what it sounded like. No, we actually do a very different model than I've seen anywhere else. So each person has a custom individualized program for them that
Nice.
me and another trainer write. But they're all it's like 1 to 5 people doing an individual program in the same room with me and another trainer there.
Gotcha.
So we're there to make sure that the form is right. We're there to make sure that the exercises are progressing properly.
Mm-hmm.
And we're there, amongst other reasons.
Gotcha.
But like those are probably the most vital roles that we play.
Right on.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna be a little selfish right now and ask
No,
you,
go for it.
and you can relate because I know you were in a car accident when we were in school.
Yeah.
And I got hit by a drunk driver last year, and I mean I've had compounded injuries, so
Yeah.
constant neck pain. There isn't very much lubrication between my cervical, the disc of the vertebrae, and then the lower back. All like the surgeons say is like, oh, that one's angry. It's the L1, and when that muscle spasms, like I can't move. Like
Yeah.
everything just I get stuck on decline benches all the time, not lifting, but just trying to get up or making my bed or something. So I'm doing really low weights with everything, but I noticed you were saying, well, since there's injury and then there's dysfunction, like how do you go about clients that have like maybe injuries like mine, cervical, spinal, lumbar? Like how do you, because I'm just gaining weight if I just sit at home and complain.
Right.
I'm in pain.
Yeah. No, for sure. And like most people have some injury, right?
Right. True.
And if they don't, they've spent the last like 20 years driving cars and typing on the computer. So everybody's up here like this. So whenever I try to get someone to do a chest movement, they're always using their shoulder. Every time I have to be like shoulders down and back, chest is up. Okay, now push away, right?
Mm-hmm.
So no, don't worry about it. Okay. In your instance, so you have an issue where it's the rotation is causing pain, right? So you need to strengthen not only the muscles that limit your rotation, but also the muscles that do the rotation, as well as the muscles that are around the site of injury, right?
Okay.
So you need to be doing extra hamstring work, extra calf work, extra glute work, as well as like mid back work.
Okay.
Right. And then you also need to be doing things like planks, as well as, I don't know if you've ever done chops with a medicine ball where you like keep your torso perfectly straight and then just try to move your arms.
Have you seen my torso?
No.
It's perfectly curved.
Yeah. Well, that's it. So wonderful. Then you can go gently around it.
An arc. All right. Okay. So I definitely, I do my leg day thing, and I try to be consistent with just making sure I'm hitting every group of the body. But who likes to do lower body? But
no,
focusing more.
All the girls love it. I hate it.
I've gotten some good results. I don't know. A buddy of mine, he used to be a stripper. He told me to get on the Stairmaster.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Because I hit that for like 8 minutes just to warm up.
No, Stairmaster and treadmill are the only valuable cardio machines. So those are by far the most effective and the most honest when it comes to relaying how many calories you're burning per hour.
Okay.
The rest will typically exaggerate on the high end upwards to an extra 60%.
Okay.
With like the elliptical, it says you burned 160 calories. You just burned 100 calories. Lied to you.
Lying ass.
It's a liar. So
no. I knew it was too easy.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I know. And dude, every time I had one client who would not get off it. And I'm like, bro, you're not doing anything. And he's like, yeah, no, it's great. And like, every time I saw him, like, get off. And he wouldn't. But I mean, let's shift the conversation a little bit, because I am being very critical. You have to understand too that the best exercise is the one you're going to do consistently. So let's say you hate everything, but you actually will get on the elliptical for like 10 minutes. Do it. Just do that.
Yeah.
and then start increasing from there. Then go on for 11 minutes. You know, like any movement is good movement.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't mind doing the stuff I don't like anymore, just
Uh-huh.
because I like seeing the results, and I definitely utilize the rowing machine a little bit more.
Good.
Is that okay? I mean, I'm really trying. I know a lot of articles come out about like not using the toes and stuff. So like try doing it without the straps. They say like people rely too much on the straps, but I don't know. But keeping my back straight, my shoulders back.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It doesn't, I don't know. So I do that.
You're correct. Don't listen to the haters. So yeah, what the purpose of what that person said in their article, the don't row because people rely too much on their toes, is trying to take people out of a quad dominant society, right? For the most part, we use the front.
A what dominant?
Quadricep.
Gotcha. Okay.
The muscles from your hip to your knee that are on the top part of your leg.
Right. And you're saying that they're trying to take us out of, that's like a popular focus?
Well, no, on accident.
Okay.
So many people have overactive quads, especially women, because of our society. So like women especially do because of high heels. When you're in your heels all day, it's much more difficult to use your glutes because you're pressure
leaning forward.
Right, exactly. I'm like, I can't give you an example. What am I doing? So yeah, so like that, as well as we only like to do things that are in front of us that we can see, right? So naturally, when you go to crouch down, you're going to come up on your toes and not sink down into your hips. So from a young age, we're trained to stay on our quads when we should be learning how to like if you look at the way a baby moves, that's the way we should all be moving.
Okay, because they do seem like kind of about to fall back, but yet they're like walking on their heels.
Yeah, and when you see them squat, they're just like, blah, right? You know, they're comfortable and they can actually sit there. Like we should all have that kind of mobility in our hips.
I do. There's like the cable pulls where I put the cables all the way low on each side, and then you kind of bring them up, and it's like you're making a force field.
Yeah, yeah.
I love that one.
That can have so many different purposes, which is funny, right? So like depending on the shape of your arms, the way you engage your shoulder blades, and the angle at which you're moving, it could determine like there could be like 4 different exercises.
Gosh. I definitely try to do since I'm not able to really do the decline bench press and my chest.
Yeah, you shouldn't do decline.
No decline.
You don't need to, no.
So do you think that those cable pulls, I feel like it's a great chest workout because like I try to focus on there, but I know like you can't choose where your fat burns, but like my stomach and my chest are the first place I gain fat and that's the last place I use. So it's super frustrating.
Right.
But I do a whole bunch of stuff. Like I try to like just keep it interesting, and sometimes I go to Planet Fitness right now, so they just have like a lot of the 30-minute station, but they have like red light therapy on their beauty machine.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if it's helping. I do it for 12 minutes before the workout, but they say it loosens up the cells, fatty tissue, and a whole bunch of anti-aging stuff.
I mean, I'm not sure. The answer is yes. I'm not sure how statistically significant it is.
Right. Yeah.
So, but the red light is good because it acts as like a convection, I believe, oven where it heats you up from the inside out. So like because it uses light frequency amplitude to vibrate the cells.
Okay, so in addition to that, it has a moving like a VibraShake machine.
Okay.
I know Pepperdine had one of those in the gym. The athletes would kind of use it just like shakes.
The power plate. Yeah.
Power plate. Okay.
Yeah.
What do you utilize that? Have you heard of it?
Yeah. So that I believe almost all of them are the dual piston system now. So like I started using one back in 2006, right?
Oh,
So
nice.
like in high school, we had one in our gym, but it was a single piston. So it
Mhm.
would just go up and down. But I don't believe
That's
they
making
make.
me nauseous.
Yeah, no, it's so fast you can't tell. But
Nice. But why'd
the
you do it?
what right, I'm getting there.
No, you're
So
good.
if that's the case, I wouldn't use it because they've discovered that the negatives outweigh the benefits. The stress on the spine and skull it doesn't outweigh the warmness for the muscles.
Okay.
So with the premise that it is a dual piston machine, put yourself on 2.8 gigahertz, I believe. It's either gigahertz or hertz, but it's only one.
Mm-hmm.
It's either, so do 2.8 for a minute for your warm up, and then do 1 minute for your cool down at 2 hertz.
Okay.
What does it do? Well, I've seen data a long time ago, so I cannot verify this. It'd be super cool if it did this, but I can't verify this. It's supposed to increase testosterone, human growth hormone, and like one other thing in that region. But again, I'm pretty sure, like I would guess that it doesn't. Even though that's what I
Yeah.
read, I
Yeah.
would guess that that's incorrect. But what it does do is it loosens up the fascia, so the
Mhm.
casing around the muscles, and gives you more mobility.
Okay.
It's like an express foam roller.
Nice. All right. And that's great news because I struggle with doing a foam roller because of my back. I don't want
Yeah,
to
I
tweak
bet.
it, but I notice I don't really like working out without hitting that Shake and the red light therapy beforehand. I used to do it
Yeah.
afterwards after showering, but then I looked at the research and it was like, no, do the red light therapy before. And I also heard that could contribute as well to like hormone balancing. Um,
I've heard that as well, but I've only heard it anecdotally. I haven't looked up
sure.
any research on it.
Yeah. Next time I'll have some studies or something. We'll
I
be
know. I
digging.
was like, it's like prep me. Tell me what to look up, and then I will.
No,
I'll talk
dude.
to you all
It's
about it.
like everything's just kind of coming together. And oh, one last thing, because I don't want to hold you up all day or whatever. I know it's the weekend, but
I'm
do
not. I have
you?
nothing to do.
Dude, I'm so glad I just got off work. I was like, peace, bitches.
I know. I know. Where are you working now?
Well, I'm working on my third book and I'm doing this podcast thing and I got like potential investors or sponsors for
Right.
next year.
Right.
But I'm working at a cafe, just making sandwiches,
Yeah.
and we open at 11, we close at 6, and I'm making like $20 an hour. So it's like,
Yeah. It's just a nice cha-ching. Yeah.
yeah. And I mean, I was at NBC or whatever, stepped
Uh-huh.
away from that.
Oh, when did you leave them?
2018
Okay.
was official, March last year.
Oh, right. I forgot it.
But I
That
can
you were
go
with them.
back. I just don't know if I'm ready for the industry again. I don't think so.
Yeah.
At least that path. But, you know, we're good. It's like I could still work there, but yeah, it's a whole thing.
There's a lot of, you're like, how can I keep me safe first?
Yeah, because
That's always the question.
I really thought I knew who I was. Like, and I got there and I acted a damn fool. And
Yeah.
it's just I had so much growing up to do and I still do, but I also like really enjoy the simple life and this
Yeah.
is so easy, dude.
I know exactly what you mean. Cause like when I started training because I'm like, yeah, I love to work out. I'm gonna make people ripped and get people like huge. Like, oh yeah. And what did I end up doing? Like I train 50-plus-year-olds and I keep them healthy. That's what I do. And I love it.
Yeah.
I love helping these people who've never like learned to use their bodies, to use their body the way that their body was made to be used.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's so fulfilling to see somebody do something, A, that they never thought they were going to do, and B, that is going to keep them healthy and safe for much longer. Just knowing that I'm increasing their like quality of life, and like they're just such good people. They're so good.
Do you feel like you found like your vocation or like a spiritual type of thing invested in it?
It could be for certainly, and here's a better answer. I'm able to find spiritual fulfillment in this line of work.
Okay, that's great.
So that's like, I don't know, like, I'm sure I don't know what my purpose is, but I know I fit well here. I'm making a difference in people's lives, and it feeds me too, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's something that's really difficult that you have to pay attention to.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Honestly, I'll take that was the best sandwich I've ever had over where are the revisions to this script any day.
Oh
Right now.
yeah,
Right
dude.
now.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, right now. And that's the thing, is like, maybe, who knows? Maybe when I'm 35, I'll feel like starting some fires, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But like,
exactly.
right now I'm 29, and I read one quote like right after I moved back to Ojai for a bit, and that
Mhm.
was, we all go to college with these like grand ideas, trying to save the world and like make everything a better place. But it's okay if you only save one person, and it's okay if that person is you, you know?
Yeah.
And like everybody says these cliches and these like things that we hear all the time, and they're so repetitive, but the older you get, the more real it
Mhm.
becomes, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's spooky. And it's so easy, like getting out of school and like going to work and like comparing ourselves to each other. And especially now with social media,
Oh
it's something
yeah.
our parents didn't have. And we're just like all, I don't know, for me, it's just so easy to compare myself to people that we went to school with. But at the end of the day, they started like that. And like,
I didn't even think about that, but you're totally right. I was just gonna
why would
say,
I
like,
expect them to change and just be broke all of a sudden? Like, no.
right? Or like, yeah, yeah. No, 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 that's, it's so true. Yeah, nothing changed. They were already like that before college. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So true,
So
right?
when I get my Benz or my Ferrari, it'll be like earned, and I'm okay with that. But things like a lot of scripts I wrote like 8 years ago. Oh, my massage therapist. He reminds me a lot of you. He used to own a gym in Austin,
Uh-huh.
but he got my scripts to an agent that's like a
Hmm.
really big literary agent in Hollywood. And I mean, this guy's been giving me massages for like 9 months now. And we just
Uh-huh.
stumbled upon, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't tell you." And I'm like, "No." And I told him I was a writer. So, you never know. And so I'm like, I thought the dream was over as far as my scripts went.
Right. Yeah.
But, no, they're still there. They're still
Never.
my original ideas. Yeah. Have you been doing any acting or anything?
No, no, no acting. I did a little. I did a personal photo shoot, so it was like for me and a friend, but it wasn't anything big. Oh, like just about a year ago. And before that, the last thing I did actually was about I think it was 2 years ago. Might have been three now. But I did beer yoga with Kevin Hart and Chance the Rapper.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So if you Kevin Hart did, he has a thing on his YouTube channel. I don't remember what it's called, but he did a bunch of like fit challenges. So like he did one with The Rock, he did one with somebody else, and like everybody's doing these super hard things like fireman, like the crazy fireman test where you have to like carry 500 pounds, not 550 pounds up a mountain, and then like in full fireman gear, and then like run back. They did like a
Yeah.
half marathon, and Navy SEALs training, I think he did with some other celebrity. And then the one that I the one that I did was beer yoga. So like,
That's awesome.
yeah, we were just, it was just extras in his class, and like got free beer. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, snap, dude.
that was fun. But that
I'm
was
gonna put
the
that in the
last
show
thing.
notes if I could find it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You
That's
could link.
awesome. Because
I
you were
mean,
on Dexter when we
yeah,
lived together. And I
yeah,
remember that premiered, and then you were on Pretty Little Liars and
yeah.
Awkward.
Uh-huh.
Dude, so you always got that up your sleeve, though.
But it doesn't mean anything either
No?
for in the acting world, no, because those are
Yeah.
all featured background roles. So it's like I've heard before that is actually more of a discredit than a credit, because they're like, oh, people have seen you do that, so now you're that person. I'm like,
No, no,
shut up.
whatever. Yeah.
Right,
Fuck off.
but yeah, yeah, right. No, right, but right now, like I'm trying to chase the things that make me grow, and this is it, right? So I
Yeah,
know that this is feeding my soul. And
dude.
I don't, in what I was doing, I realized what I was doing in acting a lot was fulfilling my need for recognition.
Mhm.
And right now I'm trying to change the way that I get that fulfilled, if that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. And it's almost like you got a different type of hunger or thirst for a different type of more fulfilling recognition or whatever type of.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is extremely difficult because you also have to change the way that you recognize it because it comes from different sources now.
Yeah.
So like for like one instance, a compliment that one of my clients gave me, just like talking about, how happy she was that I've started working there and everything. And I was like, that's what I should be enjoying. Like, that's the recognition.
Yeah.
It's right in front of me. All you gotta do is pick it up.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Dude, that's awesome. I'm waiting for that day. It's like I went back to this rehab I went to like give like a talk or whatever, and all these kids had the copies of my book, and the way they were like, they're like, can you sign mine? So I was like taking time to like write notes in the beginning of them, and it was strange. It was like weird, but I felt like this is where I'm supposed to be. Like I want to do this. I want to be signing my books and like people being like, hey, your story really helped me type thing. And so it's just for me a matter of not getting discouraged in the meantime. Because like 2 days ago, I got all these alerts for my credit score or something, like dropped like 50 points. And I'm like, what? Like, I don't have any credit cards or anything like that. And then my landlord texts me and she's like, oh, yeah, I'm not renewing your lease in December. So now I got to move. And I have a dog. So it's kind of hard to find places with a dog. And it's not like it's that financially straining.
When is your lease up?
It's the day after Christmas is when I moved in.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah.
It's just that I don't want to move. I don't feel like dealing with the whole process.
Dude,
but
trust me. Yeah.
It could be an opportunity for bigger and better, and that's what everyone's saying. But I don't really care about bigger and better. Like I was fine where I'm at, but I'm thinking life is like, I'm gonna trust that it's putting me in a place where I can be better, or for I don't know. But.
Yeah. Or even think about it. I try to think about it this way: is even if it's not, or like how can I utilize this to the best of my ability? Right. It's like, even if like, how can I use this to help me accomplish my goals despite the way it may look on the outside?
Right. Yeah.
Which is always far easier to say than do, right?
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, dude. Well, thank you so much for doing this, man. I really appreciate it. Next time where's the gym at? What's the name of it? Do you want to give a shout out again?
Yeah, well, yeah. So the gym is in Westchester, California. It's called SoCal Sport and Fitness. If you're interested, come on in. Come say hello.
It's like avid LA, Simi Valley. There's avid listeners in Southern California. It's usually like 10 people a day. I'm looking at the numbers. Cool. So it's like by next year, I mean, I got like 1,000 people that have listened this year. So that it's building.
Dope, dude. Congrats.
Yeah. So
they're not building a following is not easy. It is. You have to you pick it up one by one over the course of a long period of time. So I'm impressed is what I'm saying.
No, I'm honored. It's like, I'm glad I can, I got friends like you that take time to talk and like share your journey and stuff, because I don't know, people in Australia, Switzerland, like those are actually like hundreds of people listening all the time.
Really?
What are you guys doing?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm always down to talk, even so, like, because we could go more in depth about exercise topics or whatever else you want to talk about too.
All right. Well, maybe we can regroup like next week or a couple of weeks closer to the holidays and help people stay healthy.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you. I love you, dude. And thank you. Thank you so much.
Love you too, man. Take it easy. Peace.
Bye.